welcome to TCR. Sid here. Thanks for clicking on the video.
Mike.
Oh yeah, well I was
Frankie.
still talking. I wasn't done. Okay, well he's not even in the frame. This is just an abortion. Hey guys, welcome to TCR. Sid.
Frankie.
Mike.
Will.
There we go. Today we are going to be getting Will's bellies from his latest pork that they just processed out so that we can make bacon.
Bacon.
Let's get it done.
Frankie.
What?
Roll this pork belly up.
Okay.
Bet y'all can't guess what we've been doing.
Killing pigs.
And making bacon.
And Velcro gloves.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Alright, just take this bad boy right here, roll it out flat on this board. Go ahead, grab it. Get your hands dirty.
You wash your hands?
Did you wash your hands?
I probably should.
Y'all can have that one. I'll just keep it.
Right, I know. It's contaminated now. Will can't handle it.
It's germs.
Don't worry, we'll cure the germs right out of it. And this is from an AGH.
Chicken.
Oh, wow. That actually doesn't look that bad at all.
That's a decent looking belly.
Yeah.
Good.
See this line right here where you can kind of see knife marks?
Yeah.
So this is where he pulled the ribs off. So your baby backs were kind of like this, if he made you any. And then as it comes out like this, that'd be what some people call a St. Louis, or I call them sometimes spare ribs. Feel that little bone right there, Frankie? We got to get that out. And that one right there. There's a couple things we're going to need to trim. Not too much though. This is a little thin, but down on this end, I think you're probably going to get bacon. You're going to get some short bacon right here.
Yeah.
This is a little too thin for bacon right here.
Oh, yeah. That one looks way better. Look at this one.
Yeah, it's not as thin in the middle there.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at bacon, you're supposed to have 7 layers, right?
Yeah.
So you're supposed to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got this little thin protein layer between there. There's probably 7 right there. And it's basically a fat layer, a protein layer, a fat layer, a protein layer, and they're just stacked together. He really took a lot of the fat off the outside. I'm not sure why he did that. I would have left it this much fat all the way down here. And then he took a decent chunk out of here with those spare ribs. I wouldn't have done that personally. I'd have actually filleted them as close to the rib as possible through here and left more for bacon because those spare ribs there's just no meat there anyway. But this is what we have to work with, and this is what we're going to work with. Just run your finger down that line. And you're feeling for the edge of bones. You got one there?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, so we don't want that to end up in our bacon. Always cut towards yourself. Well, the thing about bacon is no matter what it looks like, it's going to taste like bacon when we're
Accurate.
done. So.
If it tastes like chicken, you did something weird. He's using the force right now to cut the bacon with his mind. Like butter.
Very good sharp knife. I like that.
Well, he just sharpened it.
Yeah, were you not there?
He
I wasn't there.
That looks decent, dude.
Yeah.
That looks damn decent. So, you know, it's going to be a little thin,
Yeah.
like I said, but it's a couple of decent fat layers in there. You want that fat kind of to render while your bacon's cooking. That's part of the deal. Now, down here, we've got a couple things we're going to trim off.
Yeah.
I'd trim that off, and then I would probably, this is not going to be conducive to bacon down here. So the first thing is I'll take this guy right here. I cut right towards my buddy like this, okay?
Yep.
Then I'll take this and I'll turn it upside down and look and say, okay, where's the bacon going to stop? And then the question is, do I just want to leave all that together for smoking and then trim it later? It's totally your call. Another option that you have with this here, with this thin stuff, what I might actually be tempted to do is to make me a little roll that I tie and cure, and then you can slice it like bruschetta.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, bruschetta.
Prosciutto.
Prosciutto.
Prosciutto, whatever.
But that's not going to be the same thing, but I see
Too
what
bad
you're saying.
I
Pork
didn't keep
belly.
the meat from the
Yeah, but it's
the
cured
cheek. Then we had
differently.
one.
We'll just go ahead and throw it in the brine for now.
So our buddy Will had the butcher do this hog for him and break it down. We're just here trimming it up to cure the bellies. And in doing that, we noticed there's some discrepancies and things, and we're gonna take a look at it to show you why we're not super happy with the way some of the cuts are.
Okay, so for those of you out there that are having somebody else butcher your hog for you, I think you should probably know what to be looking for, what to expect. And I don't want to roast this butcher. We know him, we like him, but I'm not happy with the way he did these bellies. So I want to take a little bit closer look at a couple of items here and see what we're dealing with. So take a look at this belly. All right, I should have 7 layers on this belly to make my bacon out of. All right, now you can see this pretty harsh cut right here. This is where the ribs came out, and this is where some people call it the St. Louis. It's kind of a triangle shape rib that comes out of there, and the baby backs come off here. Now, if you look down here, look at how thin that is. All right, now, here's part of what I'm concerned with. When I look at the back side of this is where the skin was, okay? So you come in here and you skin it, and when you skin it, you want to leave as much of that fat as possible. Really just skin it tight to the skin. But what's happened here is, see, here's a layer of fat, then there's a layer of protein that he's cut out, then there's a layer of fat that he's cut out, then there's a layer of protein that he's cut out. We've lost 1, 2, 3, 4 layers right here from somebody just working too fast with a knife and just really just getting in here and just, in my opinion, butchering the butchery job on this belly. So this is not really conducive to making bacon out of, and that's kind of a bummer. Now on the inside, I feel like he really took too much off here, and when we went through the box of what he was provided, what Will was provided from the butcher, there are no St. Louis style ribs, which means that that scrap of rib from above the baby backs here, or essentially below the baby backs on the hog, that scrap of rib either got used for bones for stock, or he just cut the meat out from between them and used that for the grind and tossed them. So if that's the case, why leave any meat on them? Why not fillet those things as close to the bone as possible, leaving more on your belly? So now what we're gonna do, for the heck of it, since I'm looking at this, I'm gonna open these baby back ribs. You know, also you wanna be really clear with your butcher what you want when you're asking for something to be broken down. Will asked this butcher for bone-in chops, and he did not ask for baby back ribs. You can't have both. That's just how it works. If you get bone-in chops, then each chop has one of those rib bones attached to the outside of it, right? And then it should have a fat layer, a decent fat layer on the other side, or rather above it, my bad. But in this case, he got baby backs, which means he didn't get bone-in chops. We're gonna look at those also. Now there's too many pieces here, which means that what he did is, you know, there should only be 2, but there's 4. So what that tells me is he went thinner. See how thin that is compared to, I mean, I usually do a baby back that wide, and then I have beyond that my St. Louis. He went thinner, and he went 2 rows of essentially baby backs per side, which is why we've got 4 slabs right here, okay? Some people prefer that. So, you know, I don't really have a problem now that I've opened these with how he did that. He just put more emphasis on the ribs than he put on the belly. The problem is he either didn't understand, or just he has his way of doing it, that the belly was the emphasis on this butcher, and we didn't even want ribs. So here's what we got. We got 4 slabs of essentially baby back ribs now instead of 2. And we have bellies that we're going to get very little bacon out of, true bacon, and a decent amount of just cured pork belly that we can use in a pot of greens or whatever. So that's just my opinion on how this was butchered. That's not a roast on anybody. It's so that you, the viewer, understand that you need to be very clear on what you're getting, and look into your butcher. You know, ask a few people that have used them before you hire somebody if you've got options.
That looks good.
I didn't even get my butcher knife out.
Good job.
That one's a lot better than the last one we
That's
used.
actually chef's knife.
Yeah.
The butcher knife I didn't bother getting out.
But yeah, I think, yeah. We'll just trim that little piece off right there.
Yeah. So there's what your bacon's gonna look like.
Yeah.
Up to here, and then once you get to here, it's gonna get thicker. You know, you're gonna have this weird extra nub on these pieces of bacon till you get to here, and that's really what your bacon should look like mostly. Well, part of it.
It actually might be a little bit easier this time instead of doing those long pieces. When we do the little short pieces.
Yeah. Well, this will fit on my slicer real nice like that. Just. So we'll use a slicer. I think last time we cut them by hand.
No, we used a slicer.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did.
It just wasn't working because we had this long piece and it kept kind of bunching up in the middle when we were trying to send it through it.
Yeah, you're gonna have shorter
Our
pieces of bacon.
was like that long.
So you gotta weigh them all up, get a total weight. Go ahead and add some more.
Yeah.
Got Navy over here trying to do math. Hey, pretend we're calculating long-range rifle shots right now. Put that math brain on.
3.5.
Perfect. So pull those off.
3.5.
Nice. That's an even 7.
Anybody want to guess the weight?
3.75.
4.
Yeah.
I gotta hold it like this, like a fish. Hang on.
I'm gonna go 3.
I'm gonna say 4.
3.75.
3.8.
He already said 3.7.
I didn't hear that. Didn't you say that?
I said it.
Oh.
No.
Wow, it's light.
Both over.
3.5.
We'll just call it 3.5.
Yeah.
So we got 9,
10.5.
10.5. All right.
10.5.
So now you want to measure out 2% of 10.5 pounds. Who's got your calculator
So,
out? What's 1% of 10.5 pounds?
Times 0.02.
2.
You guys need to take your shoes off to do this, or?
0.21.
0.21.
All right. Can you convert that to grams?
0.2 ounces. Oh no, that'd be 0.2 pounds.
Right. 0.2 pounds.
0.2 pounds. Yeah, I have to look at my calculator.
I'm
I have
gonna
to
do that.
Google it. Google 0.2 pounds into grams.
So now we're going to double check our math. So we're going to go 90 grams. All right. Now to double check our math, you're going to take 10.5 times 16.
168.
168 ounces was 2% of 168.
3.36.
All right. So we're going to measure out 90 grams, and then we're going to convert it to ounces and see how close it is.
Okay.
Just to double check our math. So this is zeroed out, and it's now on grams. So just get 90 grams of salt in there.
We're training you to have your own cocaine lab in Colombia.
Don't you know that's where me and Jen make all of our money?
I know.
Is we're drug dealers.
Yeah, I heard.
And we're going to convert it to ounces. 3.25, 3 1/8. So that's perfect. So there's your salt. Okay, that's the only one that I measure out by weight.
Yep.
2%. The Prague powder, we're going to put a teaspoon per 5 pounds.
So 2 teaspoons.
So 2 teaspoons. Now, the Prague powder, you can't get hot.
So put in that after.
So we're going to put this in after
Yeah.
we cook all of our spices up.
I
All
remember
right.
that.
And then now we need to get my trusty recipe. Okay, we want peppercorns and ground pepper, garlic, mustard, nutmeg, and brown sugar.
Oh, look at you made it all pretty, Will.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Take that.
You were in the way.
Well, it's the life of a videographer. Now we're gonna get this heated up in some water. Release the seasoning of the spices to make the meat very meaty.
That's right. And then you're gonna want like a cup of brown sugar. Boom.
Let it do its magic.
So, what are you missing? What wasn't in that bowl?
Everything was in that bowl. Salt. Oh, that's right.
Salt
We gotta
is
add the.
separate.
I forgot about
Not that one.
I forgot. Don't add the other stuff. to
Yeah,
it.
don't add the Prague powder
Yeah,
yet.
the Prague powder.
That can't get hot, but this stuff has to get hot.
Yeah, and what I usually do is I bring this to a boil and then I shut it off and let it sit for a little while. Just kind of
Let it calm down.
a little tincture. After this has been steeping for a while, we're just going to add some ice
Let it cool down.
and let it cool down.
Because you're gonna add more water to this anyway, so that you're covering the meat fully, but you gotta get it cooled down so that it can.
Gotta get it
Actually, we
down.
should have
Cool down.
transferred it to
It's fine.
older pot.
It's fine.
Well, also I need that pot.
Well, you'll have it shortly. So now before we add the preg powder, Will, is when you can taste test it.
See if you like it.
Oh, that smells delicious.
Taste test.
Taste test.
Should be very peppery.
No. Not very peppery. It's got a little touch of pepper.
Like
It's good.
flavor?
Yeah, I like the flavor.
All right.
So you don't toast, because I noticed like when I do a brine, I toast all of the seasonings first before I add any liquid. And you didn't do that.
No,
How come?
I don't toast them first.
Oh. Well, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Stand
So now you're going to add 1 teaspoon per 5 pounds of meat. So 2 teaspoons of your preg powder, which is where your sodium nitrites are,
Yes,
which
sir.
is what prevents botulism.
Don't want botulisms.
Get in here and fold these so they're all folded the same, like this. And try to get them so that I've got an even amount of liquid needed.
Mm-hmm.
And then go ahead and pour that in.
Do you ever like kind of like pull up the flaps and like pour it in like that? And
And tomorrow I'm going to pull the meat out and flip
Yeah.
it over. So over the next 7 days, I'll rotate that meat multiple times in there. I handle my meat a lot. And then you want to go ahead and get some more water out of the
Water
sink in
in
that
that
pan
pot.
and get it to about 1 inch over the top. And you did add the preg powder, right?
Yeah.
And stirred it? Yep. All right, perfect. There it is. Done.
Done. Now we wait. Well, there you have it, guys. This is gonna sit in the fridge, curing for the next week. They're gonna smoke it next week. So Mike's gonna go in every day and kind of move the meat around and rotate it, and then we'll check back and smoke it next weekend, and we'll do a video on that too. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you get the notifications.